welcome to this week's video, which is from Abbey Farm in Flitcham in North Norfolk, all part of the Sandringham Estate. And I'm here at the bird hide, so obviously on King Charles's land, and I thought I would show you some of the beautiful sights that are very close to the bird hide. So starting with this ring-necked pheasant, who is literally right outside of the bird hide. As you will see in a moment, from the photos I took, he kept turning his head as if he was posing for me. These ring-necked pheasants have blue heads, and they live an average of about 2 years. They like to eat seeds, berries, insects and shoots. I think the various colours of his feathers are just superb. He's absolutely stunning. Next are a pair of oyster catchers bathing. Despite their name, they rarely eat oysters. They much prefer cockles and mussels. Unbelievably, an oyster catcher was discovered to be 40 years old. It's ringed in 1970 and then discovered in 2010. And it actually never left the site where it was ringed. Bath time over, he goes up into the grass to dry his wings and have a preen. And then in the exact same place, another pair arrived to have a bath. Then all four congregate together on the bank to watch the ducks and the geese on the water. I'm so busy filming the oyster catchers that I hadn't looked out the other window and seen 2 muntjac appear. They've decided this grass is rather nice, this side. And then the lady proceeds to tell everybody how in her garden she has deer and they've eaten all her dahlias. So she isn't happy. I don't blame her. There are several people here at this bird hide. It's popular. So they're chatting and I've had to take out the various conversations. The oyster catchers are still busy drying their wings in the warmth of the sunshine. It seems to take a long time to do every single feather. There are a pair of shelduck here on this pond, and all of a sudden, absolute chaos descended on the water. There was a mallard who dared to try and put her duckling into the water, and it got chased away by the shelduck. So I think we can establish that the shelduck won. Mum relocates her duckling and off they go. Well, the duckling was just trying to hide in the long grass actually, but Mum's taken it out and off they go. Closely followed by a jackdaw who has decided to come along and have a look and see if it's all stopped. He's checking on the mallard. The shelduck's having a look to see if he was the duckling back. I do love the wildlife. I find them very entertaining. Now we can see why he was so territorial of the water, because he's got his lady with him. Shelduck are one of the largest ducks, and some even grow to the size of virtually goose. On average, they live for 10 to 12 years, but have been known to live as long as 15 years. The oldest recorded Shelduck was aged 24 years. They like to eat mollusks, crustaceans, and insects. If they're in shallow water, they like to try and find snails and worms as well. Their English name of Shelduck originates from the 1700s, and it means pied waterfowl.
They'll probably turn up and tell me she's at university or something. You lose track of time, don't you? Oh.
Just beyond the lake is a tree that has a little owl living in it. It has the most incredible camouflage and is able to make itself look like bark, but it's where the white spots are. That's the actual little owl. Once they've found a suitable home, they like to remain there as long as possible, for many years. On average, their lifespan is just 3 years, but there is a recorded one that lived to almost 14 years. There's just been some afternoon meeting taking place between the grey-lag geese and the coot. Clearly the coot has said, "This is my spot, you all need to go away." And then proceeds to do a celebratory dance that the patch of grass is now all his. At the time of the celebratory dance, a jackdaw was having a bath and a little puddle cocktail or two. Of course, he had to stop his bath with the noise of the wings, but now that's settled down, he can go back to resuming his bath time antics. While it's raining, I'll quickly show you the view from the bird hide. After the bath of the Oyster Catchers earlier, they're now having a siesta. And in a quiet area further along from all the chaos of the smaller ducks and birds earlier, the greylags are enjoying a rather well-earned puddle cocktail before then having their own preening session and washing and bathing session. It's very busy. Further along, leaving enough space not to disturb the other greylags I just showed you, these two now come down to the water, begin to have a drink. Previously hidden behind the long grass, and it's because of the long grass she's out of focus, but there was Mum with their goslings. The Shelduck are still patrolling the lake, so I think that's why everything else is staying on the bank or the very edge of the water. Mum and Duckling put in another quick appearance before scuttling off to hide again, leaving Dad in the water to have his bath. The oyster catchers have woken from their siestas and are on the bank looking for worms or anything else they could probably have for a little snack. It's now the coot's turn for a little preen at the water's edge. And the little grebe has put in an appearance, the first time I've seen it since I've been here. The pond is finally empty, so the mallards are rushing down to the water's edge to claim their spot. I've no idea who's hiding in amongst the grasses over there. This is a man-made structure for the kingfisher to nest in, get in, so the water from the pond doesn't flood out his burrows. sadly out of focus, but look, it was a moorhen who was hiding in the grasses when I said I didn't know who it was. This is just about it from here for today, but this bird hide is soon having its 30th anniversary celebration. So I took a photo of the sign so you can have a read of that should you wish to. I actually left the bird hide now and driving along the road, and a hare comes towards the car, totally oblivious to the car. Absolutely beautiful. But of course, through the windscreen, you don't get a crystal clear footage of it. But it's better than nothing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it here today. I'll be back again soon. Bye.